Christ is in our midst. Welcome to Spiritual Calisthenics. Today, on June 9th, we commemorate Saint Cyril, Patriarch of Alexandria. On this day, we commemorate Saint Cyril's falling asleep. On January 18th, we commemorate the occasion of the saint's restoration to a see in Alexandria after he had suffered a brief exile because of the machinations of the Nestorians. Shortly thereafter, the Third Ecumenical Council was convoked in Ephesus, and the blasphemous doctrine of Nestorius was condemned, that which was saying that Christ was somehow two different types of natures, and this is why Nestorius wanted to call the Theotokos Christotokos, Christ-bearer, as opposed to Theotokos, God-bearer. So with Nestorius, the divinity and the humanity of Jesus Christ is almost two separate. You are a guide of orthodoxy, a teacher of piety and modesty, and a luminary of the world, the God-inspired pride of monastics, a wise Cyril. You've enlightened everyone by your teachings. You are the harp of the Spirit. Intercede to Christ our God for the salvation of our souls. The Epistle and the Gospel are more to do with the date after Pentecost as opposed to the saint today. In those days, Agrippa was the king, and Bernice arrived at Caesarea to welcome Festus. And as they stayed there many days, Festus laid Paul's case before the king, saying, "There is a man left prisoner by Felix. And when I was at Jerusalem, the chief priests and the elders of the Jews gave information about him, asking for sentence against him. I answered that it was not the custom of the Romans to give up anyone before the accused met the accusers face to face, and an opportunity to make his defense concerning the charge laid against him. When therefore they came together here, I made no delay, but on the next day took my seat on the tribunal, and ordered the men to be brought in. When the accusers stood up, they brought no charge in his case of such as evils as I supposed, but they had certain points of dispute with him about their own superstition, about one Jesus who is dead, but whom Paul asserted to be alive." Now, what is this telling us as we are getting ready for Pentecost, as we're approaching the end of Acts of the Apostles, is that St. Paul is being trumped up on phony charges that have nothing to do with the governance of the land, but rather have to do with their envy of him. And so the Roman authorities do not see this as contentious at the moment. The Lord said to his disciples, "Truly, truly, I say to you, if you ask anything of the Father, he will give it to you in my name. Hitherto you have asked nothing in my name. Ask, and you will receive, that your joy may be full. I said this to you in figures. The hour is coming when I shall no longer speak to you in figures, but tell you plainly of the Father. In that day you will ask in my name, and I do not say to you that I shall pray to the Father for you, for the Father himself loves you, because you have loved me, and have believed that I came from the Father. I came from the Father and have come into the world, and again I am leaving the world and going to the Father." His disciples said, "Now you are speaking plainly, not in any figure. Now we know that you know all things, and need none to question you. By this we believe that you came from God." Jesus answered them, "Do you now believe? The hour is coming, indeed it is come, when you will be scattered every man to his home, and will leave me alone. Yet I am not alone, for the Father is with me. I have said this to you, that in me you may have peace." This again coming from the great prayer in the Gospel according to St. John, in which Jesus Christ is telling his disciples that they are going to flee, they're going to abandon him. But Jesus Christ is never alone because he is with the Father. And therefore we too will be in the Father, because Christ himself has come from the Father that we may be united together. I hope that you've enjoyed today's Spiritual Calisthenics. Have a blessed and wonderful day.